Now for a little guided reflection. These two towers represent the difference between God's plan and our plan. The tower you interacted with on the right is our plan. Now, it's possible to go through life doing things our way and still be pretty successful by the world's standards. If you've played Jenga before, you probably took the time to test for blocks that were easy to move. You may have looked over the tower and seen some places where it felt safe to take a risk, and other places where you knew if you pulled that block, you were going to cause the tower to fall. Now, metaphors may not be your thing, but try to think about this with me for a little bit. In life, choices come up. We can take calculated risks and feel confident making a move in the right direction, especially when those risks fall within our wheelhouse, things that we know we're good at. As a result, our tower gets taller and life is good. The game gets trickier the longer it's played, and this is true about life too. Decisions get more difficult, and we can only go so far in our own strength and keep it all together. Sometimes, even the most well thought out strategies fail, and our tower still falls, leaving us feeling frustrated. The further we get away from God's plan for our life, the more holes there are in our tower. It's unstable, and having to make choices can cause a lot of anxiety. We worry that we could make the wrong choice and risk losing everything. Now, the tower on the left represents God's plan. It's strong, steady, and can withstand the bumps to the table. Following this pattern is sometimes slower, and our tower might not seem as glamorous as others around us. It requires us to stick to our convictions and to wait on God. Now, I want to be clear. Being a Christian does not mean that we are unbreakable. Our towers are still susceptible to everything that the world throws at us. However, when God lays out our steps, there's less anxiety and less empty spaces. These verses come to mind when I think about this metaphor. Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in a man's heart, but the counsel of the Lord will stand. And also 1 Corinthians 1:25. For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. Okay, so that's enough about what I thought about in this experience. I want you to think about your experience. Think back over what it was like. Were you anxious? Confident? Did you have to cheat in order to keep your tower standing? When you're done, take a Jenga block with you. You could write one of those verses on it or just stick it in your pocket. Let it remind you of the fact that God has a solid plan for your life. Take some time and listen to what God might be saying to you right now. Later, if you hear the tower fall, let that be our little inside joke about the efforts we make to keep going in our own strength.